I am Sun Tzu. A battlefield is not solely a place soaked in blood, it is also a realm where information flies. Elon Musk understands this well. Many see the rebranding of Twitter to X as mere whimsy or chaos, but that's a shallow view. Elon's aim is to seize control of the information space itself by changing the name. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. The true meaning of my words lies in stripping the enemy of their will to fight, making them expend no resources, and taking advantage for oneself. The name Twitter was both a legacy and a shackle. Discarding that banner is akin to relinquishing one's domain. But domains bind their holders' freedom. Elon knew this. He opened the gates to space with SpaceX, disrupted the ground with Tesla, bridged the mind with Neuralink, and took control of communication with Starlink. All of these are being unified under the name X. X is the unknown, potential, and an invisible intimidation. People fear names. When a name changes, order wavers. In that wavering, Elon seizes the initiative in the information war. He hasn't abandoned Twitter. He has transformed the name of Twitter into a battlefield. Changing a name is an act of asserting one's will. It is an act of exploiting confusion, exhausting opponents, and testing allies. Those who continuously reinvent themselves, unbound by the illusion of a brand, are the ones who survive on the battlefield. Elon's vision extends beyond Twitter. His sights are set on Mars, on the future of humanity. With the single letter X, he is prepared to consolidate and unleash all his arrows. This is the essence of the X project, as seen through the eyes of me, Sun Tzu. Why are people so captivated by a change of name? In the past, when a country's flag changed, its people would kneel and draw their swords. Now, that flag has merely transformed into an app icon. The moment the renaming to X was announced, media worldwide erupted in controversy, mixing praise and ridicule, hatred and skepticism. Without paying a dime for advertising, the single letter X slid into countless languages across every nation, imprinting itself into memory. This is a strategy to win without fighting. Soldiers hear of swift victories, but never witness prolonged, clever battles. Speed is the essence of war. Hesitation leads to openings, and openings invite defeat. The renaming of Twitter may have seemed like a disorganized chaos. Yet, it was this very chaos that captured the public's gaze, linking discussions to Tesla's stock prices, AI strategies, and space ventures, creating a backdrop for Elon's vision of the future to seep in. We mustn't overlook the moment words become weapons. What Elon aims for isn't just a simple overhaul of a social network, opening gateways to space with SpaceX, establishing a global communication network with Starlink, and erasing the boundary between brain and machine with Neuralink. All are set to be unified under the symbol X. This single letter signifies the unknown, holds endless possibilities, and has the power to disrupt order. People fear the unknown, pursue those who speak of it, and place their hopes in it. Meanwhile, resources flow and ground is seized. The terrain commands the troops, and the troops determine the outcome. The information realm is the battlefield of today, and those who command its terrain hold the future. The name X transcends borders and language barriers, planting its flag in the informational space. Renaming as an act of resetting the front lines, abandoning territories entrenched in the past to aim for greater objectives. The name Twitter wasn't discarded, it transformed into a battleground. From now on, I will uncover the full scope of this grand plan. What is X? And why is renaming the starting point of the strategy? Through the eyes of a strategist, we will unravel the future Elon envisions. In this era, the battlefield is expanding in ways invisible to the eye. A few seconds of videos etched on social media timelines, countless personal data collected behind advertisements, the shift in stock prices and public opinion with a single click. All these are the bullets, resources and territories of information warfare. By 2023, the renaming to X, the world was already divided. The economic blocks of East and West are in conflict with unrelenting warfare and both overt and covert struggles for dominance over energy and food. Artificial intelligence continues to evolve, and while convenience grants answers at the push of a search button, the masses, having lost the power to think, dance in the palm of the agitators. War is a matter of vital importance for the state, a matter of life and death, the road to survival or ruin. It's not just nations. Corporations too battle for survival. The X Plan proposed by Elon is a front line to seize control of future markets. Once, oil was the lifeblood that moved the world. Now, it is information, data, and communication that flow through the veins. With Starlink covering the entire globe from space, communications are being controlled beyond borders. And with Neuralink erasing the boundary between brains and machines, human thoughts are directly linked. AI can instantly craft words, generate imagery, and manipulate emotions. Elon raised the banner of X to claim this entire realm under his governance. Many might think it's just a name change for Twitter, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Behind X lies an economic sphere connecting all human activities like space, neurology, AI, communication, mobility, and payment, a hegemony holding the order of future society. The one who controls the battlefield controls the terrain. The one who controls the terrain can subdue the enemy without fighting. Elon's decision to discard the Twitter brand wasn't merely a change. It was a strategic move to claim the terrain for the future creation. Those who dismiss it as just a social media rebranding might find themselves unknowingly beholden to the X economic sphere a few years down the line. Chaos is the best soil for those with power. In this chaotic era, what you choose and where you stand are decisions only you can make. In the midst of chaos, people speak of the future while forgetting the past. However, the essence of strategy remains unchanged through the ages. What is needed to achieve victory on the battlefield? Is it military might, financial resources, or intelligence? Those are certainly important. But underlying all of them is the power of knowing. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. I once left behind these words: knowing your opponent's every move and accurately understanding your own position, this becomes the critical point that decides victory or defeat. To decipher Elon's X project, one must understand what he's looking at and why he takes certain actions. At the same time, you must also know where you stand. Elon has SpaceX, paving the way to transport resources and humanity beyond Earth. With Starlink, he aims to dominate communications, and through Neuralink, he seeks to erase the boundary between human thought and AI. With Tesla, he's targeting supremacy in transportation and extending his reach towards energy dominance. All these are bound under the name X. He is simultaneously engaging in information and resource warfare. The change in name reflects an attitude for winning. It is a willingness to evolve into the most optimal form for victory rather than maintaining the brand. It involves making decisions to reorganize amidst chaos without fearing the destruction of order. To win without fighting, the key is creating conditions where fighting is unnecessary, and Elon has transformed the stage by his own hand. To preserve a state is supreme, to ruin it is the next best. The best form of victory is to compel without destroying the opponent. Whether it is a nation, an organization, or a brand, controlling it without breaking its structure is the most efficient form of victory. X is a tool to grasp future society, a symbol to dominate the information space, and a banner that creates and controls chaos. Ignoring this philosophy and following only the surface is akin to a blind march forward. one must not forget that words spoken on the battlefields of the past hold true in today's information battlefield. The battleground of this era is not where swords are drawn, but an information space that moves at the touch of a fingertip. When Elon discarded the name Twitter and changed it to X, many were confused and mocked it as reckless. Yet, that is the essence of military strategy: to act outside the enemy's expectations, to disrupt their formation with unpredictable moves and draw them into your flow. War is the art of deceit. This is a phrase I have left behind. Victory cannot be achieved by conventional methods alone. It is by taking actions that surprise the opponent that you can build an advantage. Elon deliberately chose to create confusion. By discarding brand entitlements, he demonstrated a stance not reliant on existing order and drew others into his sphere of influence. This is an economic war, an information war, and a psychological war. He seeks to control transportation with Tesla, space with SpaceX, communication with Starlink, the brain with Neuralink, and information and social infrastructure with X. In a future where these are connected, X will evolve into not just a platform, but the economic zone itself. It's akin to the conquest of countries in ancient times. In the past, taking control of a country involved overthrowing castles, suppressing people, and seizing taxes. Now, it has merely shifted to controlling information, communication, and payments. X is the banner and command center for that purpose. While people laugh, the framework is being set up. Elon's goal is not the colonization of Mars or the proliferation of electric vehicles, but the creation of a dominant order. The key to achieve this is information, and to control that information, he has chosen the vessel called X. The victorious warrior seeks battle after establishing victory. The defeated warrior fights first and seeks victory afterward. Those who win create a form of victory before the battle. Those who lose seek victory after they fight. By raising the name of X, Elon is already setting the stage for victory. Only those who can apply this philosophy to modern information and economic warfare will be able to survive in the coming era. Let me pose a question. Is it possible to create a new order without breaking the existing one? Many criticized the decision to rename Twitter to X, calling it foolish and chaotic. Abandoning a brand is madness, they said. However, that is thinking constrained by the old order and, from a strategic perspective, a significant blind spot. To win within the existing order is to win within an already established framework. It is merely a war of attrition over a limited pie. But if one can rewrite the order itself, victory becomes apparent. Yet this path presents a dilemma. If you try to preserve the old order without breaking it, new strength cannot grow. If you try to create a new order, the old one crumbles and chaos ensues. Which will you choose? Elon did not hesitate. He chose to abandon the old order, invite chaos, and build a new one. What would you do? In our modern society and personal lives, this question cannot be escaped. At work, at home, in society, we continually face this dilemma of whether to preserve the old order or create a new one. Many desire stability and choose to maintain the order, but times keep changing, and those who refuse change are weeded out. Conversely, if you attempt to instigate change, you may face resistance, isolation, and the risk of failure. Defense comes from ensuring invincibility, while victory comes from finding the enemy's vulnerabilities. The fundamental strategy is to first establish a position where you cannot be defeated, and then exploit the opponent's weaknesses. Elon built his invincible position with vast financial resources, technical prowess, and attention, and from there took the gamble of renaming Twitter. So, have you built your invincible position in your life, your business, your personal journey? Are you ready to initiate change from that foundation? Nobody else can provide the answer to this question for you. In order to survive in a changing era, you must decide for yourself. Technology is not just a tool, it is a gateway to the future and a force that can transform the battlefield. Elon's X project is not merely about dominating social networks. Behind it lies the intention to harness technology to redefine order itself. The reusable rockets developed by SpaceX have drastically reduced the cost of access to space, making the colonization of Mars a tangible reality. Starlink's satellite network covers the entire Earth, creating a communication infrastructure that transcends borders. Neuralink aims to directly connect the brain with AI, revolutionizing the very speed of thought. And X is set to be the platform that connects all these technologies and economic spheres. What happens when this cluster of technologies converges? The boundaries between physical and informational spaces become blurred. People are continuously connected in real time. AI maneuvers information beyond language barriers, and communication, payment, transportation, and energy are integrated into a single system. This implies that private companies will supersede the functions that once belonged to nations. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. The ultimate strategy in war is to disrupt the opponent's plans themselves. What Elon seeks to hold is control over the communication, economy, and infrastructure of nations, and to possess that is akin to disrupting the plans of nations themselves. X is not a tool for domination, but a tool for shaping the future. Yet, at the same time, it possesses formidable power. When AI aids decision-making, satellite communication transcends borders, brains connect to the internet, and humanity heads to Mars. Which country's laws can stop it? Which institution can regulate it? With no answers to this question, technology continues to evolve. The future will surely come. The question of who molds it is the real challenge. From the moment Elon presented X, the battlefield of the future has already begun to shift. To fear technology or to utilize it, that choice will determine your future. It is in silence that truth reveals itself. In an era overflowing with information and constant chatter, silence has become the most precious commodity. Silence is terrifying. Silence breeds anxiety. Yet it is within silence that one finds the only space to confront oneself. The single letter X that Elon champions is a symbol of silence that refuses explanation. Many question its meaning. Is it the future of social media, a payment platform, the foundation for coexistence between AI and humanity, or perhaps a precursor to the Mars colonization plan? Elon remains largely silent on this matter because the name X embodies silence itself, expanding as people interpret, discuss, fear, and anticipate it on their own. In a battlefield, sometimes the most important thing is to remain silent. Too many words can create vulnerabilities. Unnecessary explanations breed misunderstandings. Misunderstandings lead to conflict, and conflict draws unnecessary battles. Silence prevents this, allowing time to cultivate strategy within oneself. I ask you, are you reflecting quietly right now? Are you looking beyond the overwhelming information, trying to make choices of your own will rather than being swayed by the influx? AI, space, information warfare, energy battles, the dominance of capital. Now, as all these forces are reshaping the age, we must ask questions within the silence. What do I want? Only those who can ask this question can walk forward without being swept away by chaos. Silence is not retreat. Silence is the time to hone your next move. Within this silence, sharpen your will. It is not others who will decide the future. Whether you adhere to the future crafted by X or carve out your own, the choice is yours alone. In the silence, once you've posed the question, it's time to move forward. What those on the battlefield truly fear is not the number of enemies or the strength of their weapons. The greatest fear should be misjudgment. Elon made a decision. Without fear of breaking the order, he embraced chaos and raised the name X to seize the future. Whether that choice is right or wrong will be proven by the outcome. But we are not mere spectators waiting for others' results. In this era of information warfare, entrusting one's life to others is an unconscious defeat. To win without fighting, here are actions you can implement now. 1. Don't take information at face value. Every piece of information comes with someone's intention. Question it, investigate it, compare it. Make it a habit to think and decide with your own mind. 2. Have your own purpose. Those without a purpose will just drown in the sea of information. Why learn? Why work? Why earn? The answers to these questions will guide your direction on the battlefield. 3. Build an invincible position. Skills, stamina, trust, assets. It's crucial to create a state of invulnerability in every form. To win without fighting, first establish a situation where you cannot lose. 4. Do not fear change. Change comes with pain. But rejecting change signifies a slow defeat. If the change is necessary for the future you want to create, choose that pain. 5. Be on the side using technology. AI, social media, communication, everything is a tool for use. Continuously learn to stand on the side that uses, not the side that's used. These are not difficult tasks. However, many neglect them, get swept away, and before they know it, lose power. For you to survive the chaotic times and claim victory, you must be ready to reselect your strategy from this very moment. Those who win create the shape to win, and those who lose neglect to create that shape. No matter how significant the flow of the X project, we have our own battlefield. Identify your battlefield, raise your own flag, and live with your own strategy. Let's take a moment to cool the heat of the discussion. When we talk about battles, emotions run high, but that intensity can sometimes cloud judgment. What's crucial on the battlefield is seeing the situation with a cold, discerning eye. No matter how much your blood boils, never lose composure, become arrogant, or let your guard down. This is the stance of those who survive. The discussion surrounding Plan X is no different. Elon's grand vision of the future, migration to Mars, coexistence with AI, a communication network transcending borders, undoubtedly stirs our hearts. It is a dream, a threat, an aspiration, and a fear. Yet, we must ask ourselves again, is that truly the future you desire? Are you choosing to be swept away by excitement, constrained by fear, forced into a future envisioned by someone else? What do we wish for? For the future we desire, what should we learn? What should we abandon? And what should we choose? The battlefield isn't far away. The choices before us right now are already the battlefield. Elon is moving forward to shape his own future. We must also make choices to decide our own futures. Talking strategy is easy, but living according to strategy is difficult. Think coldly, act passionately. This mindset is the only way to survive in ever-changing times. In this quiet space, contemplate what you seek and where you are heading. Only the answer to that question will be the sword that leads you to the future. To you who have journeyed with me until now, the battle does not end. The battleground may change form, hide its presence, or appear right before your eyes. Elon's X project will continue to shape the world. Communication, AI, space, finance, mobility, energy, everything will intertwine to rewrite order. But amidst this turmoil, the most crucial thing is to raise your own flag. Instead of simply observing the future others envision, create a future where you choose, decide, and forge your own path. This is the only way to survive in an era of chaos and to win without fighting. Do not be consumed by technology. Master it. Do not fear change. Initiate it. Do not be swept away by information. Turn it into your weapon. Strategy isn't something distant. It is the essence of your very way of life. Having thought and walked together until now, you have earned this right. In this ever-changing world, raise your own flag and carve out your own future. And may these lessons serve as a sword in your life, allowing you to win without fighting. Here I will say no more, but your battle begins now. I will wholeheartedly watch over your journey. What kind of spark has been ignited in your heart by these words? As we analyze Elon's X project through a strategic lens, we've been observing the tides of our era, an age where technology reshapes order and chaos becomes a battlefield favoring the powerful. A time when the gap between those who leave the future to others and those who seize it with their own hands is wider than ever. Will you let this story remain just a tale, or will you bring it back to your own battlefield and put it to use? The choice is yours to make. I've spoken of strategy, yet it is you who must live by it. If today's discussion has stirred any thoughts, left you with questions, or memorable words, please share them in the comments. Your perspective will inspire others gathered here and sow seeds for new strategies. If you believe this strategic discussion can aid your journey, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel before leaving. I'll continue providing insights to help you navigate the currents of our time. The battlefield remains open. Your battle too begins now. See you in the next video. Together, let's continue to ponder and refine our strategies.